Visit actionelectrical.net.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. I'm super excited to tell you today that we have fed over 250 families so far with our Feed 500 Families event. With that said, we are still short of our goal. We have decided to continue this on through to the end of October. With your help and your support, we can get this done. Please stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
At Fountain Tire, we're fluent in saving you money.
Fluent?
Yes, we've mastered the language of deals. Like right now, you can save up to 25% off select tires and up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires. Plus, $50 off $150 service when you buy those tires. All until October 18th.
I'm sorry, I don't speak deals.
Spend less, save more when you buy round black things from us.
Oh, got it.
Restrictions apply. Book your appointment online today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Looking for the perfect gift? Give the gift of great taste with a Loca Quality Market gift card. Redeemable at any Loca Quality Market or Loca operated restaurant. It's a treat for food lovers. Ready anytime. Grab yours today at loca.ca.
You wanted local sports on weekends. Saturday mornings at 9, check out the Saturday Sports Setup, where we'll tee up what's happening on the weekend sports scene. Tune in Saturday morning at 9 on Sports 1440.
Here's the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Welcome to the Lowdown. Today's show, it looks like Jack Roslovic pays tonight. But when will we see Connor Ingram? Plus, an incredible play in the NLCS, and the Jays disappoint in the ALCS, and the Buffalo Bills be Buffalo Billsing. A Lowdown brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Fall into savings with 0% financing on all 2025 Buick and GMC Buick vehicles. We're making it easy. Visit wolfgmcbuick.com. for details. We're live on YouTube and Sports 1440 at iHeartRadio, sports1440.ca, and Radio Player Canada. After the show, we're up on Apple and Spotify podcasts. We tweeted out on X. At Twitter, we're at Lowetide, at Declan Krueger, at JFenwick04, and at SamW1440. I know it's called X, but I'm old. Text or call us at 833-401-1440. That's 833-401-1440. We're just drunk with guests today. Rachel Krychak, CTO of Betalytics and ESPN contributor at 1240. 1 o'clock today, Jason Gregor. We have Daniel Nugent-Bowman from Manhattan for The Athletic coming up at 1:20 today, and at 1:40, Declanation's Mama MMA. Now it's time for the introductions. He spent the entire weekend in his small room eating cheesies because no one invited him for Thanksgiving dinner, but he still has a smile on his face. Ladies and gentlemen, the best man in the group, Sam Wilness. Sam Wilness, everybody. Sam, how are you?
I'm doing good. And fun fact, I actually did go to a Thanksgiving dinner.
Did you really?
Yeah, it was out in the Battlefords, out in middle of Saskatchewan.
I know where I grew up in Maidstone.
Oh, really?
Do you have relatives there?
I do, actually.
Oh, did you ride that ridiculous bike of yours all the way to Battlefords?
No, I hitched a ride with one of my relatives and went out there for the day.
Do you know the story of the Battlefords and Louis Riel and all that? Have you studied that?
I know a little bit about Louis Riel, but not much of the Battlefords.
I grew up in that area, so I know a lot about it. I have several books. I'll drop them by. I'll expect you to read them, and there will be a test, okay?
Okay.
All right. He partied all weekend and doesn't remember a thing, but he does have a tattoo of someone named Olga on his forehead. It's Josh Fenwick. Josh Fenwick, everybody. I'm sure Olga's a real nice gal.
I'm sure she is too. I don't know. If I ever meet her again, I'll know.
Boy, you got to watch when you're out there having fun and somebody says, let's get a tattoo or let's fly to Vegas.
I did have a lot of fun this weekend. My siblings and I sat at home and watched movies. And we had dinner with Grandma.
Oh, nice. See, I framed it as one thing, and you went completely the opposite direction.
I was in the complete opposite direction.
What movies did you watch?
Oh, boy. Let's see. We watched the original Halloween, Conjuring Last Rites. We watched a couple horror movies. And then the next night, we watched The Karate Kid and Barnyard.
So none of those are Brad Pitt movies.
No, I don't believe we turned on any Brad Pitt movies.
So
I don't just like eat, sleep, and breathe Brad Pitt movies
So
all day,
you
every
say.
day.
All right. If the Edmonton Elks make the playoffs, the team is going to hire him as a motivational coach or as a mascot. It's Declan Krueger, everybody. Declan Krueger. How close are you to working for the team?
Closer than you might think. I would love it.
I remember the first time the coach saw you, he was like getting cranky with you.
I know, it's crazy to think how far we've come, and
Well,
now I'm almost on the staff.
you
I
never know about chemistry.
my grandparents used to live out in North Battleford, Sam.
Oh, really?
So I love North Battleford.
Yeah.
Now, absolute dump of a place, but I got a lot of love for North Battleford.
You're hurting me the way you say that because it sounds like you mean it.
Oh my goodness, is it ever just a piece of garbage? But I love it out there. Honestly.
The great big Canadian flag at the Esso or Co-op
Oh
or
my-
Husky or whatever it is.
I have the fondest memories of North Battleford.
And the main
wanna-
street that was a dead end where the Woolworth was.
Oh yeah, the great Grey Eagle Casino. That's a stalwart. I have nothing but fond memories of.
You called
North
it a
Battleford.
dump.
Now,
Well, listen, I have nothing but fond memories. I wanted to buy my grandparents' old house because it was this beautiful house in North Battleford, right off the highway, kind of. But that place is a dump,
I have to agree
and
with
I love
you,
it.
Declan. Wonderful memories there. Lots of good memories and lots of like good little small town stuff. I don't think I would live there personally.
I'm going to drive both of you yahoos to Turtle Lake, and then you will
I like
follow.
Turtle Lake.
It's damn straight you do.
I like Turtle Lake.
All Battleford needs is a little bit of paint and a few nails.
They need a lot. I love North Battleford. Listen, this is kind of like when the father gets to be really harsh to the son because it's his own kid. Like I spent many a holidays, many a summers in North Battleford. I love North Battleford. That place is a pile of garbage. But I love it though.
Have you lived in Regina? I have.
I've been to Regina, obviously.
So,
I don't mind. Regina's not. It's okay. It's a little bit like the Peg, but it's okay.
I'll tell you what. For the rest of this show and the rest of this week, I got my eye on you.
You know I'm right about North Battleford. And I say this
I
as like,
said a little bit of spackle. Maybe,
listen, everyone who's in North Battleford right now wants to leave.
They do not want to leave.
I want to go there. That's how much I love North Battleford.
You can't insult a community like that. That's not fair.
Oh,
Ladies and gentlemen of North Battleford, he's ill. He took a pill and now he's grumpy.
I love North Battleford. It's
Wow.
tough love is what it is. And Sam knows it. He knows I'm right.
Wow.
I got a crazy one that happened this morning. I went to the Starbucks at the Indigo here at the mall.
Is this about sports?
No, it's going to be quick though. And
Okay.
I was like, hey, can I have a half regular, half decaf coffee? And the barista, she was like, no. I was like, what?
I'm glad she said
And I was
that.
like, she was like, no, like the coffee's not on tap. And I was like, you're like the biggest coffee shop in the world. You can't conjure up a way to get a half decaf, half regular made. Now, granted, she was like, I thought she was probably 15, 16. Since kids those age are in school right now, maybe she was like 18, 19. She was young. She was kind of meek. I wasn't going to get mad about it.
Secret?
Yeah.
As you get older, and certainly by your age, and definitely by my age, you have no idea how old people are. You think you do. Yeah, what are you, 12? And they're like, I'm 36. You have no idea how old people are. You just don't. Okay, we got to
Also-
get to sports.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Teachers are on strike right now. How do you know the kid's not in school?
Wow, great point, Josh. So maybe she was 15, 16.
Okay, everybody, we're staying after class to talk about North Battleford and why we don't say things about communities. You have to stay because the lines and pairings go like this. McDavid with Draisaitl in Mangiapane. He's earned the right to move out to the top line. And quite frankly, I'm a Trent Frederic guy. He has not earned the right to stay there. The second line is a hodgepodge, as the kids used to say in North Battleford back in the 70s. Nugent Hopkins with Matt Savoy and Jack Roslovic. I don't think it'll last the game. They're quite small as a line. They're highly skilled. They forecheck like demons, and that's great. But I don't give this a big chance because they're not very big. Podkolzin and Kapanen are on the wings with Frederic on the third line. I really like the look of that line. Henrique with Howard and Tomasic. Henrique's not playing well. That's my opinion. But both wingers that he's got, Howard and Tomasic, have some things. I don't agree that Philp is on the healthy scratch list. Janmark apparently is going to be back soon. It also looks like Wallman soon and November 1st for Zach Hyman. The defense is Ekholm, Bouchard, Nurse, Stetcher. Regula is absent. We don't know why. Maybe he was truant. Kulak with Emberson and Wallman on the IR. Skinner to start tonight. I know everybody's unhappy about that, but Skinner is starting tonight. And the Edmonton Oilers clearly believe, these are the brilliant people who decided to pick up Connor Ingram that you love, and they're still running Stuart Skinner. So maybe there's something there. We'll wait and see. But the problem with Connor Ingram right now, he didn't play on the weekend, and then they don't play until next Saturday. So he'll get a lot of practice time, and then he'll play next weekend, this coming weekend, and then maybe the weekend after. So November 1st, I think that's about the earliest he could get here. And we'll see how Stuart Skinner does between then and now. Jays, disappointing. We're going to talk to Rachel Krychak about this at 12:40 today, and Jason Gregor as well at 1 o'clock today. But I thought they pulled their starting pitcher too early. I thought the bats were poor in game 1, but better in game 2. And they lost the momentum because they kept replacing the starter with guys who were giving up 3-run jacks. Disappointed. Any thoughts on the Jays from any of you?
I really thought it was their year, but Seattle just seems to be a step above through 2
They got
games.
a lot of bats.
Yeah, a lot of bats.
Yeah.
A lot of bats.
Did you see the guy sitting behind the Jays, like the
big
catcher
yoked guy
with the thing for the Cal Raleigh?
Oh,
the plug.
Oh yes.
Did you see that?
I saw
is
that.
That's inappropriate to talk about, right? We don't talk about those things.
That is inappropriate to talk about.
Right.
But to be fair, Mariners fans also have shirts that say dump number 62 on me. So
the world has gone to hell.
Maybe just in Seattle.
North Battleford isn't getting
the North Battleford of the States.
North Battleford isn't getting more like the world. The world is getting more like North Battleford, according to you guys.
Oh man, not a
According
world
to
I want
Declan
to live in.
Krueger.
Wow. All right.
And Sam Wilness.
In that game, the National League game, Brewers-Dodgers, Sal Frelick, it was I've watched baseball since the 60s, and every once in a while you see something you've never seen before. He gets a glove on the ball, so it's not out, it's not a home run, not a double, and it bounces off the wall. He catches it, and he throws it in, and then it's an unassisted double play for the catcher. I'd never seen that in my life. I'd never seen anything close to that. I've seen triple plays. I've seen inside the park home runs. I've seen triples from fat people. That was an amazing, amazing play by Sal Frelick. Did you guys see it?
It was a real heads up play.
Wow. Do you see what he said?
I have no idea what he said.
They mouthed it, and one of the websites that does this,
John Boy.
Yeah, that's it, John Boy. He said, "What the bleep happened?"
Oh yeah.
Amazing.
John Boy's
stuff.
good.
Amazing. That was I made my day to see that. Also making my day, the Buffalo Bills are as bad as the Philadelphia Eagles, and I have proof. How do you feel about your boy?
Yeah, I don't feel great, man. In the game yesterday against the Falcons, the Falcons are kind of a decent little team, whatever. But it's definitely a winnable
The North
game.
Battleford of NFL teams.
North Battleford of the NFL teams would be like an
after
NFL
class
Europe
next time.
team.
Wow.
I don't know how you can possibly defend North Battleford.
Saskatchewan people are the finest people in the world, and you're saying this about them.
I love North Battleford. I spent many holidays out there, many summers out there. Fondest memories. Loved the neighborhood. Just loved the feel the town had. Objectively speaking, the place is a dump. But back to the Buffalo Bills. The biggest thing about Josh Allen yesterday in the game is that he looked defeated. You'll see Josh Allen have bad moments, but he always kind of seems to take it on the chest and wear it as a rallying cry and still go out and be that leader. After the second pick yesterday, granted that one, the game was completely over, so I get a little bit more. But even on incomplete passes, the first pick earlier in the game, he just looked completely defeated. He didn't want to be there. And Buffalo's not rich with skill position players. They have a good ragtag group of receivers with Khalil and Keon and Curtis and, Dalton at the tight end position. And James Cook is a very good running back. But they're not rich with guys who can pick up the slack if Josh Allen isn't giving 110 every single game. And we saw what happens when he doesn't give 110 every game. And credit to Ulbricht's defense, credit to Raheem and the game plan he came in with as a total for the Falcons, credit to Bijan and Drake London, who played great offensively. But the Falcons probably aren't a game you should lose looking if you lose to the Falcons, that's one thing. But to lose to the Falcons and have such a defeatist kind of mentality about it from mainly your quarterback, but the team as a whole, that's the bigger problem. And here's the thing. Bills, not first in the AFC East anymore. And when you look at the teams they've beaten, very, very bad list. Ravens, Jets, Dolphins, Saints. Not great. Those teams have, what, 2 wins combined? 3 wins combined?
So maybe Josh Allen is the North Battleford of NFL quarterbacks.
Maybe.
He's not the going favorite for MVP anymore.
Yeah.
Nor
Well,
should he.
In
Nor
my
should he be.
brain,
If
he's still the betting favorite.
If Declan is down on him, it's bad. Team Dean says, going through Battleford, close the windows and step on it. Hope you get through safely, Team Dean. Hey, have you ever driven through Brooks? Okay. If you guys are starting to call out places like North Battleford, I'm going to start calling out Alberta towns.
Brooks looks like Calabasas compared to North Battleford.
Wow. Have you driven through Brooks, sir?
Oh yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, you're just biased.
I'm probably the most pro North Battleford guy you will ever come across.
I doubt
truthfully.
that.
I
I
wanted to
doubt that.
buy my grandparents' old house there. It was this beautiful mansion-esque
it's
house for the
sure
area.
Poetry. It's a garbage dump. You just said that today. I'm going to get the North Battleford Chamber of Commerce guy on here, and you guys are going to thumb wrestle.
That'd be the first thing he did in a while by the state of that town.
Wow.
I would have to imagine.
Wow. By the way, I'm in hell. Do you want to know why I'm in hell?
Because you missed your hit on the Kevin Carrier show this
No,
morning?
I don't care about that at all.
Facts.
I'm itchy on the inside of my nose. It's really itchy. And I'm on the YouTube.
Just go for it. I do it.
Oh, come on. No
go for
way.
it, man.
That'll be worse than the butt plug guy with the t-shirt.
What's that?
All right. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
Ugh, seriously, another door knocker? I really want to go solar, but these high-pressure tactics are exhausting.
And their prices are unbelievable. Before we do anything, let's call Great Canadian Solar.
There's a better way to go solar. Great Canadian Solar provides honest advice and fair pricing to save you from overpaying. They're easy to deal with and will never put pressure on you to buy. As a trusted local business for over 15 years, Great Canadian Solar will support you in your solar journey. Visit greatcanadiansolar.com and call today to get started.
Experience more at the Edmonton Expo Center. Come for Canada's largest trade show, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. Stay for the experience, but it doesn't end there. Maximize your brand exposure with Edmonton Expo Center's new cutting-edge feature screens, spanning Western Canada's largest venue space. Captivate an annual audience of over 1 million visitors during iconic events like Pro Rodeo, Disney on Ice, Glow, K-Days, and so much more. To learn more, call 780-471-7380 or visit EdmontonExpoCenter.com today.
Mr. Rooter meets a ghost.
1 plunge, 2, and 3. A toilet clogged with a ghost? Man, I love plumbing. You're free now.
I will never find peace. The clog is fixed, yes, but I have never trusted the sump pump.
No problemo. I can fix that. Now go to the light, you little scamp.
Thank you, Mr. Rooter.
To resolve your unfinished plumbing business, trust one plumber, Mr. Rooter.
Listen up, because you're not going to want to miss this. Right now is your chance to get in on Play Alberta's biggest offer ever. For a limited time only, new players can get up to a $1,000 casino bonus when they sign up. There's never been a better time to join the fun. Visit playalberta.ca today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
Whoa, who turned off all the lights?
Experience the new charcoal menu at Booster Juice.
Charcoal menu?
Introducing the Eclipse Smoothie, Blackout Booster Mixer, and Midnight Booster Ball.
Where's that voice coming from?
Dark and delicious, made with activated charcoal.
Can we please turn the lights back on?
Sorry, I'm just excited about the new charcoal menu.
Wow, that is good.
Right?
Available now, only at Booster Juice.
At Leading Edge Physiotherapy, we believe that life shouldn't hurt. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't know that sometimes it really hurts. I mean, we've seen people at their worst moments in life, when they feel they have nowhere to turn, or at a time when they felt like their problem just wouldn't ever go away. We've also seen people who thought to themselves, it'll just go away on its own, or this is no big deal. I don't want to bother anyone about this. Don't know where to turn to, or think it's no big deal. Either way, we have the technology, techniques, and skills to help you get back to it, whatever your it may be. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com. fountaintire.com.
At Fountain Tire, get up to 25% off select tires, up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires, and $50 off $150 service until October 18th. Restrictions apply. Book today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada. At Fountain Tire, get up to 25% off select tires, up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires, and $50 off $150 service until October 18th. Restrictions apply. Book today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
The Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Can you fit Sports Encyclopedia on a business card?
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. It's Twang Tuesday for Wolf GMC Buick. Check them out at wolfgmcbuick.com. Time for rumors. Brought to you by Great Canadian Solar. We believe you should create your own electricity. Let's build a brighter, sustainable future with greatcanadiansolar.com. And despite the weather today, Alberta's a great place to do it. Brady Tkachuk out at least a month with a wrist injury. He was cross-checked by Roman Josi at the goal line. And he fell forward into the boards, bending his right wrist awkwardly in the process. He didn't immediately leave the game, but he came back and, well, hell, boys, that's not very good. Pierre-Luc Dubois is out day-to-day with a lower body injury, Washington Capitals report. Jeff Gorton and Kent Hughes have been extended by the Montreal Canadiens. They're building something there. I mean, they're not Sam Pollock building something there, but they're building something, and good for them. Florida Panthers continue to be irritating. I guess we could say that every show, really.
Yeah.
You know. Buffalo, what are you like? I feel bad for Lindy Ruff because he's like a...
I don't, man. What is he still doing coaching an NHL team? That is a crazy...
Is he the North Battleford of NHL coaches?
Yes, that's finally your first good comparison with that joke you've beaten into the ground 21 minutes in.
Listen, you ain't seen nothing yet.
But seriously, Lindy Ruff's time in the sun has come and passed. Like, that was a crazy, what can we do?
His peak was 1999 when Brett Hull scored from the crease.
His best moment was, the press conference afterwards saying no goal, just yelling no goal to all the fans. But his day was decades ago.
I don't know why he keeps getting hired.
What can he bring to coaching in the year of 2025 that someone else can't?
Well, I know from his lines and his pairings that he's not an analytics beast. I will say that.
He's not in anything. And Buffalo's not really in a situation where they can just be like, let's see what happens. Dahlin's going to want out.
Oh, they got trouble. And you know what?
Tuck's going to want
the same bunch owns the Bills, so they can have success, but hockey has gotten beyond them, I guess.
The Sabres are the little pet project. Well, the Bills are the moneymaker. You know what I mean? Like, they got no incentive to.
Except Jake Allen didn't shake his moneymaker last night.
It's kind of like, it's kind of like James Dolan with the Rangers to a lesser degree, because the Rangers are. Dolan doesn't know what he's doing, but he at least pretends to care about the Rangers. Not quite like the Knicks, but he tries.
Dolan just wants to punch former NBA players.
Kick them out, punch them, whatever, whatever he can do. Oh, my goodness.
In baseball, Padres manager Mike Shildt has announced his decision to step down from the manager's chair. That is a great job. You should apply for that one. Padres are a real good team.
I wouldn't be mad. Do you think the fact that I'm not really a baseball guy might hurt my chances?
Not at all.
Are you saying because he wasn't really a baseball guy either?
Based on the moves by the Blue Jays, I'm not sure that their manager is a baseball guy either.
ALCS is a pretty successful season, though.
Yeah, you're right. There's problems, though. In Toronto, because you have to win Game 3. There's no doubt. But even if you do you go back with Yasevich? I thought he was fine. I would have kept him. But I don't understand what's going on with the manager. He keeps pulling the starting pitchers. Very disappointing weekend. I'm not even a Jays fan. I don't care, but I don't say that out loud because I know there's a lot of Jays fans who do, and I cheer for Jays fans. Like, I picked the Mariners and the Dodgers in the World Series, and I picked the Mariners to win. So right now, I'm looking like a freaking genius. And you know how hard that is? It doesn't happen often.
I'm pretty sure there's a stat that no team in ALCS history with home field advantage has lost the first 2 games and then gone on to win the series.
That's probably
so.
True.
The Jays they're up against it here.
Ravens have released C.J. Gardner-Johnson. What happened there? Is he getting hurt? Because I always liked him.
He didn't really fit. No, sorry, because he was. Where was he before? Just now.
Well,
he
left the Eagles a couple years ago.
Yes, Texans. Thank you, Josh. Yes, that's exactly what it was. He was on the Texans, and he didn't really fit D'Amico Ryan's system at all with his style of gameplay. So they released him.
Speaking of the, okay, go ahead, continue.
No, I was just going to say they released him. He obviously goes to Baltimore then, and I would imagine it's more of the same.
Okay. Hey, Jeff Fisher, can he be talked about as a possible coach now that they're looking in
for the Titans? That's so funny.
He could go 8-9 for them.
Oh, he wouldn't. He would go 2-15. It's funny. Some of the names that came up were Matt Nagy, OC for the Chiefs, and Arthur Smith, OC for the Steelers. And Jeff Fisher might be better than both of those guys, and that's not saying a lot.
Jeff Fisher was a running joke by the time he was done.
He had Jared Goff looking like the worst quarterback of all time. McVay gets there, they go to a Super Bowl. Then Jared obviously has kind of another career resurgence in Detroit. But for a number 1 overall pick, Jeff Fisher had Jared Goff looking like a complete bust.
Yeah.
He's awful.
Did you hear that several people in the Jets organization are starting to think that Tyrod Taylor is the answer at quarterback?
Yeah, Justin Fields is really bad, unfortunately. And I like Justin Fields. I think he's a guy with he's got a little bit of dynamic ability to his game, and he should be exciting and he should be better than he is, but he is just not it.
Is Mike McCoy going to do anything in Tennessee?
As the interim? No. They're going to ride out this season, win their 2 or 3 games, whatever it is, then go find a real coach.
Is Jeff Saturday the best interim coach ever?
Rich Bisaccia for the Raiders, who the special team guy came in, totally galvanized the group, didn't even really get looked at for the head coaching position. They went with Josh McDaniels and then fired Josh McDaniels almost immediately. Then had the next interim head coach, Antonio Pierce, there. And we're like, we can't mess up the same way we did with Rich. We got to just hire Antonio Pierce. And now he didn't look great. He got fired. Pete Carroll's there. But yeah, Rich Bisaccia was great.
Wade Phillips has been an interim head coach 1,500 times.
Yeah, probably.
So maybe he's out there. I don't know. Anything in the NBA? It's getting closer. The season has to be getting closer.
Any storylines I've missed? LeBron's going to be out for the first 2 to 4 weeks of the season with sore ass. So that's kind of funny.
Do you remember that song by Shaq to
Kobe? Tell me how my taste.
That was horrible.
Yeah.
I laughed like an idiot, but it was horrible.
Yeah. I guess.
I mean, I laughed out loud when I heard the song.
Yeah.
But that doesn't make me a good person, and it certainly doesn't make it a good song.
It is funny that those two, I mean, listen, they three-peated. It worked out pretty well, but it maybe could have worked out better, which is a scary proposition.
So for the storylines question you asked, Declan, so far the only one that's kind of new and relevant is that apparently the NBA approved the Clippers aspiration sponsorship deal.
Okay.
Do you see the research he does? I know we use research like a word that doesn't really mean research, but you asked a question and that kid went and
was
looked.
right on it. It was awesome.
I've been watching Josh over there. He's eaten part of his tongue. Well, this guy's working.
Yeah, no, that's what you got to. You got to cut your teeth in this game. You got to cut your teeth in this game for a few years before you can sit up here and make jokes about North Battleford.
Yeah,
that's the way it works.
That's right. And you know, it really irritates me that nobody has chimed in from North Battleford.
No, we got a couple.
Because I think they could get a posse here by noon. Get a little Cessna going.
They don't have cars out there. They'll be walking for a while.
Wow.
I love North Battleford. I do.
You're 100% right, Lowetide. They should not be pulling the starting pitcher after 4 innings and 70-some pitches. Ridiculous. Man, I don't understand. And then they get into their bullpen, and their bullpen is craptastic. I mean, Purifoy is the only guy who can pitch. What's his name? Muglin? The lefty. Jays. No, Varland can't pitch. Let me find it. There's one guy they got. He's a lefty guy. I like him. Your mic's not on, so I can't hear you.
Fluharty.
Fluharty, that's it. Everybody else is foolhardy, but Fluharty is good.
Yeah, he's not bad. Wait,
Hoffman
you don't
can't
think Sir
pitch.
Anthony Dominguez is good?
Okay. You know what? North Battleford can steal a base on that guy. The whole town. They stole two. Rosarena is
true.
running free.
Backpedaling. You're right. What about Yariel Dominguez?
Well, okay. I like him, but does he have? Is it Rodriguez or Dominguez?
Rodriguez.
Right.
That's my bad.
I like him, but he doesn't pitch very much. They bring him out like Halley's freaking Comet.
They bring him out and he throws 14 pitches, and then Schneider's like, okay, that's good.
The other one though is, what the hell is Roberts doing in LA, bringing in Trinan all the time? The guy's had a terrible run. And he's like, okay, we got to bring him in. And they got the save last night, so I'm sure he'll come in again. I want badly for Milwaukee to win, because I don't think it's good for the Dodgers to win with all that money. Somebody's got to beat the Dodgers. You know why? Because they're going to lock out everybody because they want a salary cap. That's coming.
If the Mariners make it out of this and it's Mariners-Dodgers, I would seriously take the Dodgers. I mean, not the Dodgers, the Mariners.
Yeah, I've already taken the Mariners over the Dodgers. And I want them to win so bad. Not only because, in all honesty, they've been in the league since 77. And I know a lot of Mariners fans. That's a lie. I know a few Mariners fans. And they deserve to win. Jays have won twice.
It's true.
You know?
So if the Mariners win the World Series this year, does Cal Raleigh become one of the best catchers of the modern day era?
Oh, I think he is. This is 2 years in a row where he's been like frightening.
And he's an incredible defensive catcher as well. Like his numbers are off the chart. It's like first in everything.
But he's also durable. The guy plays all the time. Catching is real hard.
He's first in innings among catchers, and he's had 0 balls past him.
Yeah.
Is that the stat?
Past balls, yeah.
Yeah. Number 1 with 0.
No, there's a lot of baseball terminology that could be viewed as lewd if you wanted to. Pass balls is one of them. The Edmonton Oilers have Andrew Mangiapane on the top line, and I think that is going to be a story. He's got a couple of goals already. Great anticipation. He's playing with Draisaitl and McDavid. And if you're like, I'm a Trent Frederic fan, but he wasn't doing much, you know? And another thing, you know, Tomasic has got to start scoring goals. I know he's got like 5 or 6 high danger chances on the power play, but he cradles that damn puck. He dusts it off. Get the shot on the net. NHL goalies, you give them enough time and they are going to find a way to stop a puck no matter where you shoot it from.
Neither of us won the bet, hey? Roslovich didn't draw on for captain or Ike Howard.
Yeah, well,
but I said it could be Howard or Savoy, but I also misinterpreted the question, so I'm not going to take credit.
You're the North Battleford of bets.
God, the way I've been betting the past month and a half, that's true.
So can I ask you a question about betting? We got time, 12:32. And listen, if you're listening now and you're like, this show is all over the place, that's the show.
We are a little more all over the place than usual, though.
Yeah. I tell you, I missed a morning hit with Carius. I was in the kitchen, you know.
Wow.
I forgot my phone.
Making breakfast?
No, I wasn't.
So you're just chilling.
The reason was because I wanted to wait until 10 o'clock, and then I made a turkey sandwich. Oh, my God, it was good.
The best.
Oh, my God, it's so good. I mean, not the Ross on Friends turkey sandwich, but it's real good. Okay, here's my question.
Yes.
I know guys who bet. I don't bet. Just so everybody knows, I don't make bets. I don't drink a lot of alcohol. I don't make bets. My proclivities are a lot of peanut butter and staying home.
Everyone's got to have a vice.
Right. So, but like when you get into, I have friends who, when they get into a bad period, they start being really down on themselves. Like they call themselves stupid and stuff like that. And I worry a little bit about mental health Because I think if you're betting and you're on cloud 9, that's better than you're down on yourself and you're calling yourself stupid. Because I think if that continues to go bad, then it gets worse and worse.
Well, yeah, like I mean, that's a little obvious. Like it's definitely better to win your bets and be happy than lose them and be sad.
But I'm asking, maybe it's a self-fulfilling prophecy because you're thinking I'm stupid, so this bet probably doesn't matter, and it does.
Yeah, I mean, like I don't know. I think it's just like the halls of addiction, isn't it? Like that's just kind of how it goes sometimes. Like when you get in a losing streak, it feels a little thinner, and
so you're saying society will fail partly because of betting, and people don't drive 70 on Ray Gibbon.
I mean, like listen, it's a real problem for some people for sure,
but not you, even though you're losing a lot.
Yeah, but I also like I just stop. Like I don't need to chase my losses.
Okay.
I'll just cut them and it's like fine. It's whatever. Like I don't have to
like I know people who are vulnerable to this kind of thing, and I worry about it.
Absolutely. It's they say it's one of the worst addictions.
Their wives and their families and their houses.
Millions and millions. For sure. It's a real addiction. Not officials. What's the word I'm looking for?
Idiots?
No, like not statisticians. I can't think of it. It's on the tip of my tongue, but
tipsters.
No, like I can't. Whatever. Like statisticians say, it's one of the worst addictions to have.
All right, experts.
Because expert. How did I not think of the word expert? What am I doing right now?
Well, you are one.
It's a really bad morning. But yes,
It's
experts
afternoon.
say it's one of the worst. See, there you go. That's the state of what we're doing right now. Experts say it's one of the worst to have because it's the only, or maybe like I don't know what the exact vernacular of it is, but essentially it's the only like drinking. Like it might feel good when you're drunk, but it destroys your body. Like drugs might feel good during the high, but gambling theoretically, and for people when they are hitting, like it's only up until it goes down. And then it becomes a real problem and it feels like very chaseable, very manageable.
Do you think like there would be a way if you bet a lot and you lose a lot, but you could slow it down if you gave yourself some form of personal punishment? Like if I lose any bet I lose, I have to eat an entire can of Spam.
Yeah, I like everyone's individual, right? Like I'm sure for some people that might one more bet.
Is there anything we can do on this show to help people, like a public health moment about gambling?
Yeah, if you want to be a better, fade me. For the last month and a half, just fade me. You'll win everything. So that's step one.
I remember Dom from The Athletic, who I really respect. He went through a hard period of time where things weren't going well. And I felt legitimately bad for him because I don't know him at all, but I like him. He's a kind human being and he's not mean to anybody, doesn't bully people. So I like him. I wanted him to do well. But I worry about people. Doesn't anybody worry about people?
Oh my God, I worry about people all the time. And especially like the situation we're in. Like we may not be, millionaires with supermodel wives or whatever you want to qualify as success, but we live unbelievably blessed lives. Roof
That's
over
true.
our head, food on the table.
Right.
Let's call a spade. White guy in Canada, not bad to be that. Like we have incredibly blessed lives.
I'm blessed by every time I go to the washroom, I got run over by 100-pound dog. I'm blessed.
There you go.
If I ever play in the CFL again, I'll be able to take a lot of hits. All right, 12:37 on the way. Rachel Krychak. She will be the intelligent voice of this hour. I swear. It's not a high bar, but she'll get there. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
Bringing every project to life requires the right team. By joining the Japa Machinery Group service or sales teams, you can be part of setting a new industry standard. Celebrating a legacy of excellence with Japa. Learn more at japamachinery.com.
At Fountain Tire, get up to 25% off select tires, up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires, and $50 off $150 service until October 18th. Restrictions apply. Book today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
The madness continues at the Brick. Get your home ready to host. Save up to $1,200 on made in Canada sofas and sectionals, up to 30% off coffee tables and nightstands, and up to 25% off bedroom and dining. Buy more, save more, up to $1,000 off appliances. Hockey season is here, and so are big savings on big screen TVs. Save up to $800, plus get free local delivery on screens over 50 inches. The Brick, saving you more.
Hey everybody, it's Jason Strudley. How would you like to join me and the superstars of hockey on an exotic holiday? Join us on a 7-night cruise through the Mexican Riviera, leaving from Los Angeles and including Cabo, Mazatlan, Puerto Vallarta, and more. While we relax and cruise the tropical waters, you can attend an intimate meet and greet with legends like Bill Ranford, Fernando Pisani, Kelly Buckberger, Ron Lowe, Gene Principe, Jack Michaels, Louis DeBrusque, and more. There's still time to get in on every hockey fan's dream cruise. Book now and save $500 per couple. The Edmonton Hockey Legends Cruise. Price start at just $23.99. Part of the proceeds support the Ben Stelter Foundation and Kids with Cancer.
Visit cast.tours/Edmonton. Call 1-833-347-7678. Call now to book and save $500 per cabin when you mention promo code Stingray Radio. That's cast.tours, 1-833-347-7678.
It's back! The world's best curlers are returning to this queue for the Grand Slam of Curling Go Up Tour Challenge. Join us October 14th to 19th at the Silent Ice Center as top teams from around the globe battle it out for glory on the pebbled ice. Enjoy world-class curling and an unforgettable fan experience, all right here in our community. The Grand Slam of Curling Go Up Tour Challenge, October 14th to 19th at the Silent Ice Center. Don't miss it.
Diablo Boots sells only Canadian-made work and biker boots made by Canada West. No American or boots made in China, so no tariffs. All of Diablo's boots have replaceable soles and heels for longer life. Sizes 6 to 14 Triple E. Buy quality, buy Canadian. And support Canada West and Diablo, the two best names in the boot business. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Buy Canadian. They're terrific.
Farm, ranch, acreage, or lake lot. They're here to help at Bashaw Concrete Products. Family owned and operated for 60 years. They continue to provide the best products and service, period. Call now for your free quote on the highest quality ready mix and gravel, a new septic tank, or an outhouse pad and tank, plus precast cattle water pads, garage sumps, and more. Call 780-372-3854 for prompt delivery. Bashaw Concrete Products, 780-372-3854. BashawConcrete.com.
The Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Author, musical connoisseur, sports know-it-all. Yes, a man for all seasons.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
It's the Lowdown on Sports 1440 for Wolf GMC Buick. Check them out at wolfgmcbuick.com. 1241, we're definitely into fall. The NHL season underway, and the Oilers take Manhattan. We're joined now by Rachel Krychak, who's CTO of Betalytics and contributor. Who do you contribute to now? I can't remember. You're all over the place. ESPN, right?
That's it.
Yeah.
I need time to deal with Betalytics and the new mobile app we just launched, so I've taken it down to just ESPN.
And you've done well. How is everything? How's the launch? Everybody excited about it?
Yeah, it's gone really well. We're working through as anything, right? When you launch a new application, you work through the hiccups and the kinks and adding different features and stuff like that. But I'm really happy with kind of where the product is. We added money puck stats to the site, so very excited to just kind of be able to have heat maps and all that fun stuff for people to look at.
Beautiful. All right. Speaking of heat maps and shot suppression, Oilers through 2 games. It's 2 games, but they look really good. Small sample. How important to the success they've had is a healthy Matthias Ekholm when looking at these early numbers?
Very excited going to the game tonight, so that's going to be a lot of fun, and so you get to see it kind of live. And I mean, when you look at shot suppression, like the hallmark of teams who are successful in the National Hockey League over a long period of time, specifically the season and into the playoffs, are really good shot suppressors. They don't give up a ton of opportunities, and it's not just shot suppression, it's chance suppression. And the Edmonton Oilers have been one of the absolute best teams. Now, obviously, it's a very small sample size, but when you think about it, if this continues over the long period of time, Matthias Ekholm and that contract, if he continues that kind of to have that impact, it's going to be he's going to be an enormous piece for the Edmonton Oilers for the next few years. I mean, their expected goals for percentage at 5-on-5 is 66%. I don't expect it to remain that high, but I think generally speaking, you could tell when Ekholm's on the ice and when Ekholm is not on the ice, and you have been able to do that in the playoffs dating back to the last 2 seasons. And so, I mean, it really can't be ignored just exactly how important Ekholm is. And outside of Evan Bouchard, I'd probably make the argument that he is the most important defenseman that the Oilers have.
That obviously brings up the next thing, which is what fans are clamoring for on the daily, and that's Connor Ingram. The AHL schedule runs so slow early. There was 1 game on the weekend and 2 more coming up this weekend, none in between. With that kind of pace, do you think we see Ingram in Edmonton before the end of November? I know that seems like a long time, but they just don't play that much.
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to get him in some games, especially he's coming out of the player assistance program, and with a guy playing as well as he was prior to entering the player assistance program, and the we'll call it well-documented struggles of the Edmonton Oilers goaltending core, I think you have to get a chance. Let's face it, Stuart Skinner was not fantastic in his first appearance for the Edmonton Oilers. I wouldn't say Calvin Pickard inspired as much confidence either. So it's kind of like, at this point, what do you have to lose? You have a really great hockey team that's performing really well in front of the goaltender. Their shooting percentage is comedically low, and that's going to turn around. But what you don't want is to have backbreaking goals given up and lose games that you should not be losing when you're controlling the run of play because of your goaltending. So I can't blame fans. I think they're absolutely right. Maybe give Connor Ingram a second to reacclimate to being in sort of with a hockey team, getting into practices and things like that. But I think the moment he's kind of ready, you have to try him out. I mean, you have to.
It's true. And he would be such, like, if it works, then I think that really does allow Stan Bowman to go out. Like, I know they've got Jack Roslovic here, and I understand that, but they were trying for Rantanen a year ago. There are other guys out there who are, Tuck and others who are bigger guys who can play with skill, who they probably would be looking at if the goaltending gets solved by the deadline. Speaking of, what do you think fans should expect of Jack Roslovic as a scorer and as a top 6 option?
Yeah, so Jack Roslovic can play center, which is good because it means if you want to put Leon Draisaitl up with Connor McDavid, as they are doing right now, you can do that and have viable center options. Now, he seems like he's going to start on the wing, and that's fine. I would probably do the same thing to acclimate him. He did not have a training camp, and generally speaking, players who do not have training camps perform 20 to 30% below expectation over the course of the season. So that's one thing. Now, in terms of expectations, this guy gets to the high danger areas of the ice and he gets shots off. The guy gets to the net front and he gets his opportunities, right? A lot of his shot attempts, his chances are concentrated kind of towards the we'll call it, if you're looking at the offensive zone, the left hash, like the inner hash mark towards the net front. So he's a guy that's going to get in. He's going to find the middle of the ice. He's going to drive rush offense. He brings good speed. He can win faceoffs if you need him to. He can penalty kill. So he's very versatile, and certainly it removes the pressure on some of the younger players, maybe an Isaac Howard or David Tomashek, to perform right away, and it kind of gives them an opportunity to be sheltered a little bit. So I really like the addition of Jack Roslovic. He is cheap, which is always good if you have the issues that the Oilers have with the salary cap. And so I look at this and I go, it's a guy who can create scoring opportunities, that can play on the second unit, that can play center if you need him to. It's a really good fit in Edmonton.
So every time I recommend a Boston Bruin player who I love, it doesn't turn out well. That was the case with Milan Lucic. I really like Trent Frederic in Boston, but he hasn't delivered so far in Edmonton. He wasn't right last season because of the high ankle sprain after he came over at the deadline. Is this him just getting used to the new team, or should there be concern about his quality and the lack of rugged style in his play?
I would say there should be concern, but not about the rugged style. I think the rugged style is going to bleed itself in to his game. I think it's game 3 or 4, whatever it is. I think people should maybe calm down on that one. He is going to return to Trent Frederic that everyone knows. The concern I have, and Dr. Tej Sahota, who is an Oilers fan, he's a doctor that specializes in ankle and foot injuries. Probably one of the most qualified people to speak on this. Had serious concerns about Trent Frederic's ability to return to what the Oilers, quote unquote, thought they were getting when they signed him to that long contract extension. And high ankle sprains are one of those things that could be a problem. And so I do think there should be concern about Trent Frederic, because this issue was called out months ago, and it was identified by experts in the field as something that the Oilers should be concerned about. And so do I think Trent Frederic's speed is going to return? I have some concerns about that. Do I think he's going to be able to keep up with McDavid and Draisaitl? I had concerns about that before the injury was even in the top of the mind. So I look at this and I go, he's probably a middle 6 guy, ideally on a cup team. He is a 3rd line guy, and he should be more than fine with that because his rugged physical play style should return. I just don't think that you should be signing players to those kinds of contracts and expecting that they're going to perform coming off of that kind of injury.
Rachel Krychak, our guest from Betalytics. And I asked this, there's 2 reasons I asked this. Number 1, I'm curious. Number 2, I know you know this team well. But number 3, fans love hearing about it. So what's wrong with the Toronto Maple Leafs?
How long do you have?
Well, our listeners love this.
So everyone in Edmonton just turned the radio dial up a little bit. I can tell you what it isn't, and it isn't the loss of Mitch Marner. I have seen that on Twitter way too much. It is not that, because here's the thing. Yes, the power play hasn't put the puck in the net. I don't know if people remember, but there were multiple points when Mitch Marner was quarterbacking the power play that it was also downright awful. So I think everyone needs to just chill out on that and relax for a second. But something that really should be considered is the Leafs are giving up a lot. And when I say a lot, they're a team that's supposed to be very good defensively. Their expected goals for percentage right now at 5-on-5 is less than 40%. That is below the San Jose Sharks. Like, that's unacceptable. And their shot attempt percentage, their shot share is the same. And so, I mean, this is ridiculous. You look at their expected goals for per game is less than 1 at even strength. Their expected goals against per game is 1.3. So there are reasons to be concerned. I look at this and it feels like I'm watching river hockey. Like, you know, when you go play hockey in the summer and you're going to play beer league, that's what I feel like I'm watching when I watch the Toronto Maple Leafs. There's scoring chances here, there, and everywhere. There are shots on goal that are being handed out as if it's Halloween. Like, it almost looks like they're just not switched on. And when I say switched on, I mean defensively, they're not thick on puck. There is not stopping in the defensive zone. There is not any level of commitment to defense. And then in the offensive zone, they basically have 2 players, and thank God Matthew Nyes is one of them, that are putting any kind of real muster at the net front. And yes, it looks like Austin Matthews has zipped back on a shot, but the puck's not going in the net yet. I think that's going to change. But the reality is they're not doing the things like getting to the net, being hard on pucks, being hard on the forecheck that they need to do to be successful. And that is a problem. Their play style right now is wholly unsustainable. And Craig Berube's talked about it. Like, William Nylander hasn't been good. Austin Matthews hasn't been good either. And you know what? I like the jolt of Easton Cowan being put up on that line. But when you think about it, when you're getting paid $10+ million, you're paid to put the puck in the back of the net. So that's probably issue number 2 behind the lack of commitment to defense, because it is atrocious right now.
Finally, and this is of interest to everybody who's a sports fan, because the Toronto Blue Jays went into the weekend with the hopes of a nation behind them, and they still have that, but some curious choices and some fine play by the Seattle Mariners have them down 2-0 heading to Seattle. what's your take on what was a pretty disastrous weekend for Toronto Blue Jays?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like everyone in the nation, with the exception of the city I will never step foot in again, out west, wants the Blue Jays to win. And honestly, I had to ask my stepdad because he played elite baseball in the NCAA and he coaches men's elite baseball now. So I was like, I need to make sure that I have my ducks in a row here with what I'm seeing. So I think the biggest problem here is that John Schneider and Pete Walker had a fantastic series against the Yankees, and the fact that every call they made went their way. And they haven't given both starters now the opportunity to pitch out of any trouble at all. And I get with Trey Savage, he is a rookie, and his velocity was down yesterday. And you know what? I can somewhat understand pulling him. I didn't love it, but I can understand it. Not leaving Kevin Gausman in, though, was totally unacceptable. Like, you don't have a better pitching option on your roster than Kevin Gausman. And so not allowing him to pitch out of trouble there, it bothered my stepfather. It bothered me. It bothered almost everyone in baseball that I know. And so that's number one. And number two, you're not winning games with 5 hits. Like, you just aren't. So the Mariners deserve some credit here for how well they've hit the ball. Polanco, Raleigh, Rodriguez, they've got on base. And you need to do that. That's what the Jays did against the Yankees, and it's what they need to start doing here. They need to focus less on trying to get the ball to leave the ballpark and focus more on just getting the consistent hits that they were getting against the Yankees. And so that's probably the biggest thing. But I think John Schneider and Pete Walker need to chill out and let their guys be their guys. There's a reason the Jays won the AL East, and it wasn't just the bats. So let them pitch out of trouble, especially when it's Kevin Gausman. And so I think that's a main reason why they are kind of where they are right now. And I mean, let's face it, they allowed Seattle starters to kind of get their proper rest, and now they're going in against elite starters. They are in deep trouble.
Yeah, they are for sure. Rachel, thanks for this. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
There you go. Rachel Krychak, CTO of Analytics and contributor for ESPN. And some very good opinion there. That is interesting. She brought up Frederic like at the trade deadline when it happened and through the playoffs, and brought it up again about that injury and about the doctor who has reported on this all along, Oilers fan, that it would be a concern. And so that's something to monitor as time goes on. As for the Leafs, I asked that simply because I knew that you'd want to get the inside info. I think the Leafs will be okay. I'll be fine. But they didn't look good against Detroit ×2. And it's early, but that's all we have, right? Is the early games to reflect on. I'll say this. I wrote an article for The Athletic. It's up today. First blush things after 2 games that we can say with authority about the Edmonton Oilers. And there's one stat that I'm going to read from the article because, and please read the article if you can. You know, I know you're busy or whatever, but I'm very proud of it. 2 games isn't enough sample to make any claims. I'm reading from the article. But the Oilers' shots against per 60, 17.59 at 5-on-5 is the best in the NHL through Sunday. Now, they were 26.06 a year ago, and that was number 11. So they were above average a year ago, but this is outstanding. And Rachel mentioned about Matthias Ekholm and Evan Bouchard being the stars of that particular area. But it's real, and it's spectacular. All right, on the way, Jason Gregor, we're going to talk to Jason about all of the events. We're also going to talk to him about like a breaking news story in sports and in our community. Bruce Saville, very well-known businessman, an individual who had his hand in so many different things, going back to the 80s, a great philanthropist in this town, and somebody who will be sorely missed. He passed away on the weekend. We'll talk about Bruce Saville with Jason next hour. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube. It's time for an update with Sam.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Brought to you by Custom Floors Inc.'s Floors Done Right for homes or businesses. Visit the new showroom at 11577 149th Street or see them at the Hall of Home Show, October 17th to 19th. That's Custom Floors Inc. Oilers look to take another win tonight as they head to Madison Square Garden to take on the Rangers with puck drop at 5 p.m. Some more action in the NHL sees Toronto hosting Nashville. The Kraken head to Montreal to take on the Canadiens. Flames and Golden Knights facing off in Calgary. Tampa Bay looks to get a win against the Capitals in Washington. And the Wild look to give the Stars their first loss in Dallas. Some new injuries coming out of Ottawa as Brady Tkachuk is expected to miss 4 weeks with a hand injury he sustained in their game against Nashville. National League Championship Series continuing tonight as the Dodgers look to take a 2-0 lead over the Brewers with Freddie Peralta taking the mound for the Brewers. First pitch at 6. Lots of NBA preseason games tonight as the Thunder take on the Bucks. The Pelicans host the Houston Rockets. The Bulls take their court against the Nuggets. The Lakers and Suns go head-to-head, and wrapping things up, the Warriors take on the Trailblazers. Coming up at the top of the hour, we'll be joined by Jason Krueger, and this has been your Sports 1440 update with Sam Wilness.
Sports 1440, Stingray Radio Station. CHJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Experience more at the Edmonton Expo Center. Come for Canada's largest trade show, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. Stay for the experience, but it doesn't end there. Maximize your brand exposure with Edmonton Expo Center's new cutting-edge feature screens, spanning Western Canada's largest venue space. Captivate an annual audience of over 1 million visitors during iconic events like Pro Rodeo, Disney on Ice, Glow, K-Days, and so much more. To learn more, call 780-471-7380 or visit EdmontonExpoCenter.com today.
Mr. Rooter meets a ghost. 1 plunge, 2, and 3. A toilet clogged with a ghost? Man, I love plumbing. You're free now.
I will never find peace. The clog is fixed, yes, but I have never trusted the sump pump.
No problemo. I can fix that. Now go to the light, you little scamp.
Thank you, Mr. Rooter.
To resolve your unfinished plumbing business, trust one plumber, Mr. Rooter.
Japa Machinery Group knows that XCMG may not roll off the tongue, but Japa's team will help keep your construction jobs rolling on time and on budget with heavy equipment sales and rentals. Visit japamachinery.com to find out more.
Prostate cancer affects 1 in 6 men in Alberta, and this November we're fighting back. Every dollar raised fuels early detection and life-saving support. Donate today for the men in our province. Visit keepitinalberta.ca to start your fundraiser or donate today.
For all things golf carts, it's the Golf Cart people. Their certified techs provide expert service from maintenance to custom upgrades. Customers can explore the sales floor for new and used club car, Yamaha, and E-Z-Go models. The Golf Cart people stock a wide variety of parts and accessories to keep every ride in top shape and offer convenient rentals for tournaments, weddings, and festivals. Trusted for sales, service, parts, accessories, and rentals since 1997. Visit the Golf Cart people at golfcartpeople.com, your complete golf cart solution.
Wendy's, $4 gets you more than just a burger. It gets you a Dave's Single, made with a 1/4 pound of fresh, never frozen Canadian beef. All for just $4 at participating Wendy's. Taxes extra. But hurry, this deal ends October 26th.
The Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Can you fit Sports Encyclopedia on a business card?
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Down with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Fall into savings with 0% financing on all 2025 Buick and GMC vehicles. We're making it easy. Visit wolfgmcbuick.com for details. Adam Jason Krueger at 1:20 today. We have Daniel Nugent-Bowman from The Athletic. And interesting lines today that we got. You know, you kind of knew Roslovic was going to draw in, and I felt like one of the players that would stay in the lineup was Noah Philp. He is out of the lineup. So little tweaks here and there. And that, you know, look, it's a long season. And, you know, you can't overreact to any of these things. They want to get Roslovic into the lineup, which makes complete sense. So from that point of view, you're looking at, you know, the obvious, and then do you want Adam Henrique, who's a veteran, do you want him out of the lineup? Well, the answer is no. He's going to play center. Philp will rest. But the lines go like this: McDavid with Draisaitl and Mangiapane, who has scored a couple of goals and looked good. So him moving up to the top line makes complete sense. This line is going to be interesting. We're going to talk to Jason Krueger about it here in Two Shakes of a Lamb's Tail. But Nuge at center with Matt Savoy and Jack Roslovic. And the reason I'm interested in that line is because I like all three players, but Roslovic just into the lineup. Nuge, of course, a veteran and somebody that you can count on to play two-way hockey over 200 feet. And then Savoy, a rookie. The skill and the forechecking on this line should be brilliant. They're not a big line, but they have skill. And if they get the puck, they can do things. I wonder how long the line will last. The third line is interesting to me. Frederic in the middle, third line center, with Podkolzin and Kapanen. That's a big old freight train of a line. And they play aggressively. That's going to be interesting. Then Henrique with Howard and Tomasic. The reason I wonder about the second line, I also wonder about the fourth line. It would be easy to slide Tomasic up to replace Roslovic, and you could almost move Henrique or Howard up as well, depending upon how things are going. Janmark is on IR. We'll get an update from Jason on when he's back. Philp is a healthy scratch. Lazar also a healthy scratch. And I think they said they're still looking at November 1st for Zach Hyman. Wallman on the IR, they're expecting maybe Thursday, so that's not too far away. The defense for tonight will be Ekholm, Bouchard, Nurse with Stetcher, as Regula isn't in the lineup, and then Kulak with Emberson, Skinner to start. Now, we're talking like, oh, Philp's out, oh, Regula's out. It may be a matter of them just wanting to get everybody into the lineup. Do we have Krueger? We do. All right, Jason Krueger joins us now. How are you, sir? How was your weekend?
It was great, Al. Well, except for the Blue Jays game, they got spanked both times. But
yeah, telling you, I felt like they should stay with, especially Gosman, but both starting pitchers, I thought they should stay with a little bit longer.
yeah, they might have, but if you're not hitting, it ain't gonna matter. So
Yeah.
you gotta look at the Jays. You got a leadoff home run from Springer, and then you had one hit in your next 27 outs. So
Yeah.
I don't know if pitching was the issue.
Where are you right now?
I'm at my home office.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah,
So-
my wife. I'm not taking any credit. My wife did. I came up with ideas, but she was the one who came up with all the colors and everything else. So
Well, it does look really good. So we knew we had to credit somebody else, but it's good that you let us know that it was your wife who did that. Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
All right, so let's start here. We talked about the Jays, disappointment there. They're in trouble. I mean, they're going back to Seattle. It's not like it's impossible, but the bats have to wake up, and I'm a little worried about that bullpen because they leaked a little bit here in the last couple of games.
Well, here's the thing. The concern going into the Yankees series was the Yankees hit a lot of home runs, and the Jays pitchers gave up a lot of home runs in the regular season. Well, you also know who else hit a lot of home runs? The Seattle Mariners.
Yeah.
And for 2 games, Seattle beat them with the big stick. And that was the problem for the Jays. And you know what? So Bieber's going to have to reduce the home runs. And obviously the Jays are going to have to hit a little bit more, right? Like they've scored runs in the first and second inning. That's pretty much it in either game. So usually the Jays, where they've won lots of games this year, was they come around third, fourth time through the order, 7th, 8th, and 9th inning, and they score a lot of runs. And that didn't happen. So it's obviously, it's going to be a challenge for sure. You got to win at least 2 out of 3 in Seattle, but Seattle just won 2 in Toronto. So series isn't over until it's over. But obviously right now it doesn't look great for the Blue Jays. But as we've seen in the playoffs, Al, things can turn on a dime very quickly. Jays win game 3 and suddenly it's series back on.
It's true. I've watched baseball since the 60s, and I'd never seen a play like Sal Frelick in that Milwaukee LA Dodger game. He gets his glove on the ball, it hits the wall, he throws it in, and then an unassisted double play by Contreras, the catcher. That's amazing baseball play.
Yeah, I hadn't really thought about the fact that the wall is because what if a guy hits it off the wall and then you catch it? That's not an out.
No.
So because he touched it off the wall, or did he even hit the wall? I'm not sure if it hit the top of the wall. I don't know, but that was weird. I always thought when the ball's off the wall, that means it's like a live ball. It's not like a dead ball, but obviously I didn't know the rule. correctly. And yeah, it's something you don't see very often. That's for sure.
Well, he got leather on the ball, but then it hit the wall. So then it's a base hit. And the reason that the double play happened,
it's the force out at home, right?
Force out at home and at third base. And that's why, like, what the key to the play is Frelick knew what he was doing. And there was confusion on the base paths. They didn't know. And I don't think you can blame them for that, because who the devil can see that far away? And so they're trying to score on a play, but after maybe they had too much time had elapsed. So it was fun. It's going to be a great World Series, but I'm enjoying the LCS too. Listen, I wanted to ask you about the line changes for the Oilers. We knew that at some point in time, Roslovic was going to get in. I was a little surprised when I saw Philp draw out. What's your take on the lines today, and then specifically on Roslovic in and Philp out?
Well, not surprised Roslovic in. They just signed him, right? He scored 22 goals last year. They're going to get him in the lineup. They're going to play him in the top 6. Maybe a little surprised that, they moved Savoy. So you got 2 right shot wingers on the second line and 3 lefties on the first line. But I think it has to do with the fact that if you put Roslovic on line 1 for his first game, doesn't go well. Now you're just moving him down. This way, if you start him and he gets comfortable, you can move him up. Mangiapane's only the 9th Oiler in history to score a goal in his first 2 games. So he's feeling pretty good. And Al, I do have a fun trivia question for you in a second. But I look at the lines. It was interesting. Noah Philp, even in his interview after he scored the goal, he was like, well, I didn't really like my game up until that point, and then I got the goal. So, maybe the coach didn't like his game either. I'm going to guess Adam Henrique stays in because he's a penalty killer. And he takes a lot of PK face-offs, and Philp hasn't played his second on the penalty kill yet. So people have to look sometimes bigger than just 5-on-5 because, hey, penalty kill, it might only be 4 minutes a game, but the chance of a goal against is infinitely higher than it is 5-on-5. So you want to try to get better penalty killers out there. They obviously trust Adam Henrique better in that role right now. So I guess I'm not massively surprised that it's Philp. I don't know if Philp's going to stay out of the lineup very long, Al. And I'm curious to see, now when Wallman comes back, they could easily just put Regula on retroactive IR, right? So he misses tonight. He's not playing Thursday anyway. So you do that for the weekend. So that would save them. But once Janmark's activated, and then if Regula's ready, they're going to have to move 2 guys down to the minors. So probably a defenseman. And then, maybe Isaac Howard. He's only played 10 minutes a game. I don't know if ideally you want him playing 10 minutes a night in the NHL. Now, some would say maybe. I'd probably rather have an offensive player playing 20 minutes a night in the American League as a youngster.
Yeah. And also, it doesn't, Howard, I think he's played well, but you can see in the play of Savoy and Howard the difference that an AHL season has given a player.
Oh, yeah. No question. He just, and the coach trusts him because he got to go down there and penalty kill. And he played in every situation. And so now I don't know if Howard's ever going to be a penalty killer. Not every top end guy is a penalty killer. And, we can discuss, do I think it's great that the Oilers' first and third most penalty killing minutes are Draisaitl and McDavid through 2 games? I do not. I don't think that's a great plan long term. If it's short term, okay. I think when Hyman comes back, he'll kill penalties. I guess they're trying to take a page out of the book of Florida because Reinhart and Barkov penalty kill a lot. But they also don't play $140 on the power play. So at some point, something's going to have to give there. But I think in the time being, Knobloch at the start of the year, he said, we want our penalty kill to be better. So it doesn't surprise me that Henrique stays in and Philp goes out strictly for the PK.
The Elks are, they're alive, and this is getting interesting. I talked about, you want to get to the final week and have that game mean something. Well, I mean, look, most of the playoff spots have now been wrapped up, but it's getting interesting here for Winnipeg and for Edmonton.
Well, and Calgary's not officially, because let's say if Calgary loses to Toronto and Edmonton beats BC and then Edmonton beats Calgary, they'll beat them because they would have the tiebreaker. So it's there's lots going on, Al. It's give the Elks credit. They've found a way to keep them in the race this late after a 1-4 start. And look at the teams they've beaten here lately. You beat Saskatchewan, you beat Winnipeg. And if they beat BC, and there's no reason to think they can't. Now, BC is obviously very good, right? And they're going to have to shut down Rourke. But I'll say this, Al, I felt the biggest change
was that gamble 3rd and 2. They never would have gambled 2 months ago or even a month ago, I don't think. I think they would have punted there. And they gambled, and obviously it worked. Rankin does what he does, and he is the best big play player in the league right now. It's not even close. So that was a huge call that I think shows just how, Mark Killam is expanding and growing as a head coach, and maybe even the OC, both of them together. But that was one where he said, hey, it's 3rd and 2. I'm going to trust our team. And obviously, I don't think they expected it to be a 64-yard touchdown run, but it became a massive turning point. The only maybe disappointment was when their defense kept shutting Winnipeg out over and over in the fourth quarter, that the Elks didn't score any more points, because had they beat them by 14 now, then they would have had the tiebreaker. Right. So now you have to win both, and Winnipeg has to lose both or tie one of them to get in. So it would have given them better odds, but obviously winning was the most important thing. But you would have liked that some of those drives maybe lead to touchdowns in the fourth quarter.
One question on the NFL. My Eagles lost. The Bills lost. It feels like they're, the dominant team that you often see in the NFL is missing at least a little bit, or hasn't found their game yet. It seems like everybody's 4-2 as opposed to 5-1.
Oh, it's been wild, right? Yeah. Absolutely wild. You look at how it's going. I don't think many people expected it to be this way. Like, the Chiefs started 0-2, and now suddenly they're right back in it. Again. Their division, suddenly the AFC West, is that the best division in football? I don't know, but the record suggests it might be. The Indianapolis Colts, Al, I read a stat. The Indianapolis Colts have scored the most points through the first 6 games ever, or something like in the last, 80 years or some ridiculous number. Like, did anybody have the Colts being this good offensively? Daniel Jones, are you joking? Good for him. And this is another example of how, and look at Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, right? Not every quarterback is elite out of the box. Maybe these NHL teams should listen to what Warren Moon always said. He goes, there's enough good quarterbacks. There's no teams who have patience or understanding of how to develop a quarterback. And I think you're seeing it. Like, just because Mahomes and Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen are elite right away, they're outliers. A lot of these other guys need time.
Yeah, it's very true. And, Warren Moon knows a lot about quarterbacking, so that's really good advice. Listen, I know about Bruce Saville. I remember even like in the late 80s, him having a major impact in our community as a philanthropist, and obviously, had a lot to do with the Edmonton Oilers, with the Saville Group, and over the ownership, and then the deal with Daryl Cates. But he passed away on the weekend, and he was an enormous personality for this city, and did a lot of very good things. And he is an individual we're going to miss.
I had the pleasure of, I didn't know Bruce super well, but got invited to his house one time. That was spectacular, by the way. But Bruce he really cared about Edmonton. That was the one thing I came out with. Like, Bruce, he sent me more notes, Al, about philanthropic stuff than he ever did about sports, right? He would send me a random note. Hey, I saw you're doing this, great job. Or, hey, can I help you out in this? And that's what always stood out. Obviously, he was, one of the main owners for the Oilers Group for those many years. And I think he did it because, hey, he likes sports, but it was more so he felt it was important to keep hockey in Edmonton, as did, Cal Nichols and many of the other ownership group at that time. But that's what always stood out to me for Bruce was our relationship, and how I knew Bruce was a lot of him. He kind of always seemed to know what was going on, and he would just send me random notes sometimes, just out of the blue. Hey, I really appreciate this, or like that. So he'll be missed. And I know Alish Hemsky was really close to Bruce, because that's who he lived with when he first came here, and was really a pillar for Alish's life. So I know there's many others. Bruce's whole family, our condolences go out to him. Yeah. Obviously, the other owners who obviously knew him quite well, his business partners. Sad day for a guy who did a huge amount to allow Oiler fans to still be watching Oiler hockey in Edmonton.
Yeah, integral to that. There's no doubt about that. All right, what's coming up on the show?
We got a loaded show for you, man. Kevin Woodley is going to be by. Specs joining us live from New York. Dave McCarthy's by. We're talking Oilers, Rangers. How about the Oilers, Al? No high danger chances against. That might have been the greatest defensive game I've seen in the regular season. And this is a trend that we've seen from Knobloch in his tenure in Edmonton. He's gotten them to be a much better defensive team. They don't give up a lot of chances. That would have been Calvin Pickard, one of his easiest games ever in the National Hockey League. Didn't face a lot of shots. Like, what are they giving up? 18 and a half shots a game through 2 games. So the Oilers are playing good defensively. And how about the Rangers, Al? So the Rangers have played 4 games this year. They've been shut out twice, both at home. And they lost 1-0 to Washington. They lost 3-0 to Pittsburgh, but the Penguins scored 2 empty net goals. So basically there's been 2 goals in their home games with a goalie in the net. Then they go on the road, they get a shutout, and then they only allow 1 goal. So the loser in their games has had a grand total of 1 goal scored combined in 4 games. So this might be low event hockey tonight, Al. We'll see. Although Shesterkin has had to stand on his head a little bit. Kevin Woodley gave me some numbers. He leads the NHL in goals saved above expected already at like 4.49. So.
Wow, that's huge. All right, you had a trivia question for me?
Al, can you name the only Edmonton Oiler to have scored a goal in each of his first 3 games as a member of the Oilers?
Wow.
Because Mangiapane, he's the 9th guy to do it twice. And what's funny about this guy who did it 3 times, he also was the first player to ever even do it in 2 consecutive games. Then he did it in 3, and no one has done it since.
I'll say, is it an obscure guy?
Oh, Al, if Bruce McCurdy was around, his head would explode because I don't even think he would get this.
Don Ashby.
Oh, well, may he rest in peace, but no, not
Okay.
not Don Ashby. Al, I can give you a hint.
Okay.
You'll read the answer in my GDB at Oilers Nation, and we'll talk about it on my show today.
right.
But the GDB will be up right before also, because I know you'll go crazy. You're going to be searching your brain every commercial break to figure this out, as will Oiler fans. It's a good, I love random trivia questions. This one's unreal. So, yeah. And Mangiapane's playing on the top line tonight. Al, he's got a chance.
I love it. I love it. It better not be Stan Weir. Thanks, Jason. Look forward to the show.
Stan Weir, good guess. He didn't do it twice.
All right. Thanks, Jason.
Thanks, buddy.
Okay. It's 1:20. We'll take a break. DNB from Manhattan on the way for the Athletic. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
At Fountain Tire, get up to 25% off select tires, up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires, and $50 off $150 service until October 18th. Restrictions apply. Book today. Fountain Tire.
He knows all about the Expos and Oilers. It's the Lowdown with Lowetide on Edmonton's Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Lowdown with Lowetide for Wolf GMC Buick. Fall into savings with 0% financing on all 2025 Buick and GMC vehicles. We're making it easy. Visit wolfgmcbuick.com for details. Joined now by Daniel Nugent-Bowman at The Athletic. Are you actually in Manhattan right now, sir?
I am. I'm in my hotel room getting the clothes ready for the night.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah,
That's some prime real estate. You know, if you own anything in Manhattan, you're a rich man. You know that.
Well, it's not my place. It is a hotel room. I can't say I have that kind of cash.
All right.
But maybe one day, but not now.
You know, I think you have a very interesting job. And one of the most interesting things I believe you do is go to Madison Square Garden. It's such an historic thing. I know there's different versions of Madison Square Garden. My dad, when he came back from the war, he took the train down to New York and watched a fight at Madison Square Garden, something that he had wanted to do. And it's a very historic building, even though this is, I think, the third or fourth different version of MSG. You're headed to a very, very famous place for sporting events.
I think it's my favorite building in the league because of the sight line. Like, you're like perfect. I don't think there's a better sight line in the league. Like, it's such a great place to watch a game. You're right on top of the action, and you're pretty close to it as well. So, New York, it's a place where, to me, I like coming for a few days or whatever. And by the end of it, I'm like, okay, I've kind of had enough. It's crowded. There's a lot of garbage and stuff all over the place. But one of my favorite things about coming to New York definitely is checking out MSG.
So the team itself is doing like a lot of things very well. They're suppressing shots. They're scoring enough to win games, and they're 1-0-1. I think they were 1-2-0 3 games in the last 2 seasons with a lot of goals surrendered. I imagine the feel of the team and the coaching staff has to be pretty positive based on what we've seen so far.
I think so. I mean, they should have won both games. They let, obviously, the first one slip away in a game that they had in control. Still managed to get at least 1 point out of that. And then I thought they absolutely dominated Vancouver on Saturday. So, they're going up against the Rangers team that hasn't scored on home ice yet. I think they played well in a lot of different facets of the game, and still obviously working out some kinks, working in some new players. And even tonight, like, they're going to be working in a new player in Jack Roslovic, but also changing up the lineup in terms of bringing in Mangiapane on the first line, dropping Frederic down to center of the third, and working into our Stetcher too. So it's a team that obviously I think that has a lot going for it, but as we've talked about last week, I think, and probably we're going to be talking about for another week or two ahead, is that their team's going to be changing quite a bit. Like, Chris Knobloch saying today that he expects Jake Wallman to play next game. He'll have to come off IR. Janmark and Rukula, who got hurt on Saturday, still in the picture, both here in New York, and Hyman, coming up at the end of the month, early next. So this team's going to look different, and it's going to be kind of a work in progress here for the first, a couple weeks, few weeks.
Reading the tea leaves, it feels like they're going to have to send down one of the defensemen, and it really feels like Ike Howard might be spending some days in Bakersfield. Is that fair to at least suggest as opposed to assume?
Yeah, I suggest. I wouldn't assume it, though. I think Ike Howard's played pretty well. And there's some other possibilities, too. I mean, I think they're giving Howard a look here, but it was interesting to see them scratching Philp tonight after I thought was a very good game by him on Saturday. Certainly Curtis Lazar hasn't played, and of those 3 players, Philp, Lazar, and Howard, certainly Lazar has kind of the least kind of credibility or whatnot within the organization, in the sense that, you know, they brought him in as a free agent just the 1 year, certainly older. They haven't put much, they haven't invested much. That's probably the better way of putting that. So he's certainly a possibility as well. There's a couple guys there, and then you're right. I think on defense, they're going to have to send somebody that's going to carry 8 defensemen all year, or it's very unlikely that they do anyway. And really, it's coming down to Stetcher and Emberson, and I think Stetcher probably is in a bit of a disadvantage given that he's older and has 1 fewer year on the contract, and obviously somebody that Stan Bowman didn't acquire, in kind of as a backfill for Philip Broberg, as was the case for Emberson. So there's a lot at play here. I think you're right, Howard. Certainly, if he's going to be on the fourth line, which he has been, not getting any special teams time, he would be in tough to continue being on the roster, but I don't think that's a sure thing at this point.
Do you like? I write a blog every day. I talk to people who text in every day, and one of the number one questions that I get is, when is Connor Ingram playing? And my thought process goes like this. The AHL just got started on the weekend. Bakersfield's played 1 game. Ingram wasn't in that game. They play another 2 games this weekend. He probably gets one of them, or at least he may get one of them. So if he's playing 1 game or 2 games a week, I think you're looking at probably a month before he got here. Is that fair?
Probably, yeah. I think, you're right. He obviously didn't play on the weekend for Bakersfield. I think the plan is to get him into one of these games. That's the hope anyway. But he hadn't really been doing much and been skating much, and was just kind of coming back when the Oilers acquired him. He wasn't at training camp for the Mammoth. It's going to take a little time. Like I said, I think the plan is to get him in the 1 game in Bakersfield this weekend, but I don't know if that's a sure thing yet. They got to get him into a few games before they even consider that possibility. I don't think there's a rush here to do that. I know people look at Stuart Skinner, look at the goal, especially that he allowed the tying goal on Wednesday, that, was a pretty big one, in them only getting the 1 point rather than 2 against the Flames, and say, man, is this guy going to keep being our goalie? But, I think they want to give that runway to Skinner to work with Peter Aubry. I think they have a lot of trust, for lack of a better word, in Calvin Pickard as a popular guy, as a backup that can play in a spot start duty every once in a while. I think they're going to let Connor Ingram find his footing and work his way into the organization before they make some kind of hasty decision to call him up. So, a month is a possibility. I mean, but again, there's no rush, and I don't know if it'll even be that time frame. Certainly isn't imminent. So those hoping to see Ingram in an Oilers jersey very soon, I think, don't hold your breath on that one.
Are you in a situation with this team in terms of, I've been reading your stuff. I've been, paying attention to what's going on with this team. It's so early. Like New York's playing, I think, their 5th game. The Oilers are playing their 3rd tonight. And it's, you get little crumbs of information about the team. Like Mangiapane looks like $1 million, and I love that they're moving up to the top line. But it feels like the Oilers, just in games played, are a little behind. So as you suss out this team and kind of try to play along at home with the coaching staff, how much in your mind is settled about the defense beyond, say, Ekholm and Bouchard?
There's still a bit, right? Like Jake Wellman still hasn't played a game. Now Regula's hurt. Chris Knobloch said, the hope would be that he could come back at some point during this trip. 5 games that ends in Ottawa next Tuesday. So, and that speaks to, obviously you mentioned the Oilers haven't played a lot of games. Well, they're going to play a lot here coming up. They got, 5 games in about 8 days or something like that. And then it continues on. They got a game as soon as they come back against Montreal at home. So there's going to be opportunities. And like for a Stetcher, this is why they're waiting, right? Like, don't put a guy like that on waivers until you absolutely have to. That's a guy that, has played well with Darnell Nurse before. Pretty easy guy to integrate into the lineup when needed. They have these bodies for a reason. I think, your point is well taken. You got Ekholm and Bouchard at the top. If they've wanted to put Nurse and Wellman together, that lasted all, I think, 1 preseason game before Wellman got hurt. That's going to be your second pair, or at least that's what they're hoping to do, and that was the plan. And then you're kind of trying to figure out a partner for Brett Kulak, and I think that as long as he's healthy and all that, will be Alec Regula. But not all that set in stone because it's kind of the uncertainties and injuries and all that. So that's the plan. We'll see how it shakes out, but you keep the guys around for as long as you possibly can until you're forced to make a decision, and that's what the Oilers are doing with the guys that are here and the waiver kind of problems and stuff that could present themselves.
Final question for you. Well, two more. Sorry. Personal question is, when you're on the road, do you have a media buddy who you take cabs with and share expenses with? And if you can't find anybody else to have lunch with, you have lunch with?
Well, it's usually Mark Spector, just because he and I are the only two writers that travel. Not all the time do we both go on the road together, but we're on this trip. And then New York's a good spot because there's lots of other media around. Lots of other people around, and then there's some colleagues at these spots with the Athletic too. So this is a good place to come, and there's certainly lots of options for people. But yeah, usually it's Spec because we're the only two. It's a different situation now, right? Like not too many people are traveling, and I do about quarter-ish of the road games. I don't know if he'll hit half. Like there's a lot of games where there's no independent media traveling to Oilers games. So it's 2025, man.
Yeah, well,
how things go. Yeah.
Now I know you know a lot about Latvia and Latvian trivia. So if you're hanging with Spec, you know about Latvia.
I guess. Well, I'll learn the hard way, I suppose. Yeah.
Are you following the Jays at all?
A little bit. My flight was delayed getting in on Monday. Yesterday. So I caught from about fourth on yesterday. Right. Yeah. Although there wasn't much to see later in the game. I did see game one. The bats have gone silent. Like I would say, I didn't like the decision to take out Gosman in the first game, because he'd been rolling. Yeah, he missed the spot and they gave up the home run, then walked the guy, but still I was at 70-something pitches and relatively in control. Yeah. So I didn't like that. But still, like, I had like something like two hits from the second inning onward, or third inning onward in both games combined or something. Like, tough to win games regardless of how well or poorly your pitching is doing when the offense does that. So yeah, the bats are going to have to come alive on the road here, or else that's curtains for the Blue Jays, I think.
All right. Look forward to your writing. Enjoy the game tonight, and say hi to Spec for us.
All right, will do. Thanks, Al.
There you go. Daniel Nugent-Bowman from The Athletic, live from Manhattan. By the way, Gregor has Spec coming up during his show, which is straight ahead. All right, straight ahead. Next, it's young Declan and Declinations talking Mama MMA. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
Jason Gregor isn't just a sports guy. He's a community builder with over $3 million raised for local charities. And his Gregor Foundation, he's making a difference on and off the air. Check out Gregor weekday afternoons on Sports 1440.
Prostate cancer affects 1 in 6 men in Alberta, and this November we're fighting back. Every dollar raised fuels early detection and life-saving support. Donate today for the men in our province. Visit keepitinalberta.ca to start your fundraiser or donate today.
Need the perfect ride? The Golf Cart people have it. They offer a wide selection of new and used models from top brands like Club Car, Yamaha, and E-Z-Go. Whether it's a lifted cart for adventure or a sleek ride for the course, they'll find your match. Customize with accessories or choose a ready-to-go option. Trusted by Albertans since 1997 for quality. Visit golfcartpeople.com to find your cart and hit the road or fairway your way.
Hi, Dennis from Weiss Johnson, and I'm joined by a very important member of our team, Jody. She coordinates our crew and job packages for all furnace replacements, air conditioner, and heat pump installs.
And Dennis, I've got to say, our installers really are the best. They've all been with us for a long time, and we never use subcontractors.
So you know that whomever is in your home is a Weiss Johnson employee, not someone hired out just to get things done. So the next time you need us, ask for Jody.
Always happy to help.
Visit we-johnson.com today.
They're not just a grocery store. They're a butcher, a baker, a cafe, deli, rotisserie pizza, and restaurant, all under one roof. Loca Quality Market does food differently with 2 locations to serve you. Edmonton and Sherwood Park. Visit loca.ca.
Commissioner Allen Auctioneering's 3-day Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg public unreserved equipment auctions are this Friday at 9 a.m. featuring a large selection of surplus municipal graders plus backhoes, dozers, wheel loaders, man lifts, skid steers, telehandlers, plus commercial trailers and more. Info at maauctions.com.
At jackpotcity.net, you can do amazing things with just one casino chip. Discover a world of incredible casino games with over 500 high-quality online slot games, including the world-renowned progressive jackpot slot Mega Moolah. Play for free at jackpotcity.net and get treated as a VIP 24/7. So visit jackpotcity.net today on your tablet, laptop, or mobile. Jackpot City, a whole world of casino games. 18 plus. Please play responsibly. This is not a gambling website.
Looking at the Alberta weather forecast, wild, unpredictable, brutally tough.
When the
this
weather
year. It's gonna be
turns tough, Titan Supply doesn't back down. Titan Supply has been protecting workers from conditions like this for 50 years. We stand tall with you against the elements with the industry's best rigging, hauling, and lifting products to get you home safe. Tire chains, wire rope, round slings, chain slings, and a whole lot more. Titan Supply in Edmonton, Grand Prairie, Red Deer, and Calgary. Online at titansupply.ca. Lift, dig, haul.
Hi, Sticky. They're breaking down the middle. Here's the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 for Wolf GMC Buick. Visit wolfgmcbuick.com. It's time for Declinations, presented by Elks Nation. Check out the new website, elksnation.ca. Articles, podcasts, more, breaking down the green and gold, the most in-depth Double E football coverage online, elksnation.ca. One of the stars of Elk Nation, one of the stars of this show, and a future CEO of a gigantic company that sells Tupperware and is the king of pyramid groups. Ladies and gentlemen, Declan Krueger.
The CEO of IKEA.
That'd be a nice
to
job.
look forward
All
to.
those Swedish meatballs.
Yeah, listen, when I'm CEO, I can have as many as I like, right?
Little plate, put 3 or 4 on, go right back again, have some more.
Do they do frozen yogurt or is it ice cream? The soft serve. Is it frozen yogurt? Or
I think it is, but I'm not sure.
I think you might be right. I don't know if I've ever had it. I like the meatballs, though. I had those before.
I had McDonald's ice cream for the first time recently. It was quite good.
It is quite good. It's, basic. You kind of know what you're getting, but it's good.
At my age, you don't have ice cream very much, so it's a real treat.
Oh, lovely. Why'd you choose that over Dairy Queen?
Well, I was in the McDonald's line.
Right.
And Karen said, "Do you want ice cream?" And I said, "Do they sell ice cream? Because I don't know anything."
No,
like
I know.
that.
But you must have known they sold ice cream.
No, I always just go to Dairy Queen.
Because milkshakes, huge part of the burger meal.
I don't. You will reach an age where you just have water.
Yeah, no, I feel that. Water and coffee.
Yeah.
I'm my 2 favorite drinks.
Now I have ginger ale with my Crown Royal.
Sure.
But those are the 3.
Diet ginger ale? I like diet ginger ale a lot.
I've never had diet ginger ale.
I really like diet ginger ale.
That just turns the diet part into sugar. Your body has to work harder at it.
It's not true.
Okay. All right, we've listened to ABBA. You and I disagreed about what sugar is, and now it's time for Mama MMA.
Mama MMA. Yeah, listen. Big one this past weekend for Charles Oliveira, a fan favorite, one of the most beloved fighters of the past 5-6 years now. A guy who was coming off a brutal knockout to Ilia Topuria, like just viral, head bouncing off the canvas, a picture perfect right hook from Ilia Topuria. Charles moving forward, like just the kind of KO you don't really come back from as the same fighter. And that was just in June. So this was a really quick turnaround for Charles Oliveira. Now, he did have the benefit of the doubt in this matchup of fighting a guy, Mateusz Gamrot, who was a grappler. and it wasn't, isn't really known for his knockout power. Originally, he
I
was
like
going to
that
fight.
word though, grappler.
Yeah,
that's probably Sam on our show.
Originally, he was going to fight a striker, a really credentialed Muay Thai fighter, a guy who was one of my favorite fighters by the name of Rafael Fiziev. Very crisp striker, very fast, powerful guy. We've seen him knock out some
Sounds more like
high-profile
Josh, that
opponents.
guy, yeah.
And he had to pull out of the fight with an injury. So Charles gets this matchup instead, higher ranked guy, Mateusz Gamrot, but maybe less danger. And I just thought, listen, Charles is coming back too quickly. He got knocked out brutally only in June, like real bad, like the take a year off kind of KO. I'll show you the highlight at some point. It was pretty brutal.
You say you'll do it, but you won't.
I'll show it to you after the show.
And he won't be here.
And Shootbox is the gym he trains out of, and like they are notoriously hard sparrers. And I just didn't think this turnaround this quickly, albeit not against a guy who's known for devastating punching power, was going to be a good matchup for him. But he comes out and he looks incredibly crisp. He ends up winning the fight by submission. It was a face crank in the second round. Like, he does it early. He looked in the grappling, he looked like he was levels above, and Mateusz Gamrot's a good grappler. He put himself in the fire a little bit in the striking department, but Mateusz Gamrot isn't a guy who could really hurt you or alter the course of the fight with his striking. And Charles just looked crisp. He looked clean. All I could do when I came out of this fight was think, like, my goodness, how good is Ilia Topuria to do what he did to Charles Oliveira, make it look so easy. And then Charles Oliveira comes back this quickly, like quicker than he should have, no question, against a really high level opponent, against a guy who was 24-3, I think, coming into the fight. And he just makes it look easy. He just runs through him.
Face crank is legal?
Oh yeah. It's
you just put your hand on the fella's face.
No, so it's like so a rear naked choke, you would have it under the chin. This one is like on the chin, and you operate it kind of like as a fulcrum choke. And basically it puts the pressure on the jaw.
And people like to do these kinds of things.
It's like a rear naked choke is better because it's easier to lock in.
Yeah, like in a Turkish prison kind of way. Yeah,
Brazilian jiu-jitsu kind of way.
Right.
But a face crank puts a lot of pressure on the jaw. Like, I've never been in, a face crank, but it feels like they describe it as it feels like your jaw is going to pop out.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
yeah,
Mateusz Gamrot taps, and just really, really, really impressive stuff from Charles Oliveira, who, like, I didn't like the timeline for him. The opponent was better than what I thought it was going to be, but I didn't like the timeline. But he comes back, looks phenomenal, and he's still got a little bit left in the tank, for sure.
So, may I ask a question about that? And I won't take long. But back in the olden days, when I paid attention to boxing, and I did pay attention to it, you couldn't get a fight. Like, if you fought in June, it'd be hard to get a fight in October. You'd have to wait a little while.
Back in your day, they fought at like a much higher frequency. I would say it changed kind of around like the 80s ish.
It's like 3 months.
Oh yeah, it was quick. I mean, back in the, like, some guys used to fight. You look at some of the guys, and this is before either of our times, but you look at some of the guys, like Sugar Ray Robinson was fighting like once every 3 weeks. Jake LaMotta, same thing. You look at some of those guys with those incredible records, like Willie Pep, Harry Grab, like they were fighting just all the time, essentially. It obviously,
Jake LaMotta literally was fighting all the time.
Yeah, bad dude.
Yeah,
bad dude. He got his comeuppance in the St. Valentine's Day Massacre fight for sure. But there was a point in his career when Sugar Ray Robinson was 129, 1-2, and the only loss was to Jake LaMotta. So Jake LaMotta will always have it. And their first 4 fights were very close. Their first 5 fights were very. Did they fight 5 or 6 times?
I don't remember, but
I'm pretty sure they fought 6.
I remember
5-1 Sugar Ray.
Reading a history of boxing, and they had bare knuckle fighting.
Yeah, back in the day, back in the John L. Sullivan days.
Holy hammerhead, man!
Late 1800s, early 1900s. Well, a lot of people maybe don't know, like, boxing. The only reason gloves came to be were to protect fighters' hands.
Yeah,
it wasn't about
the face.
Yeah, it was just about protecting your hands and making your hands more durable. So
yeah, it's a real fun sport.
Brutal sport. I love it though. Love it.
It's like when Rocky, where he says, "Cut me," and you're like, "What now?"
There is just some, like, you do feel pretty alive when you get hit. You know what I mean?
Sure. It's like football. Like, I've talked to football players who they miss the hit.
Yeah.
The hit is what they miss.
Yeah. The pop wakes you up.
Yeah. Like that would be the thing I wouldn't miss, but it's what they miss.
It's a weird way to describe it, but like in boxing, you like getting hit until the one punch comes that makes you realize you don't want to get hit. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times your adrenaline is just so high, like you really don't feel a lot. But the one you do feel, you're like, ooh, I don't want to feel that again.
Yeah. There's fear though, right?
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Because I read an article once about Tony Conigliaro. He was a Boston Red Sox outfielder in 1967, and he got, don't look at the photo, but he got hit by a pitcher from the Angels. I don't remember who it was. And his eye just, he was never the same.
Yeah.
But he talked about the fear of stepping back into the, almost like what I equated it to was like vertigo.
Yeah.
Where he would step in the batter's box and he would begin to feel the fear before the guy even wound up.
Oh yeah, there's real truth to that.
Yeah.
Like for once you, it's kind of the same thing. Like once you get like knocked out kind of badly, your chin goes.
Right.
Like the brain shuts off a little bit quicker.
Hardest hit I ever got was at 93 Mile House. I was walking home and I got into this fight with this kid named Billy, and he hit me with this lunch kit. And by the time I got home, my hair was red.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like from the blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tough town, you know.
Maidstone. Tough town.
Maidstone wasn't tough like 93 Mile. 93 Mile was tough. Anyway.
Yeah. No, the only other thing I would say about this one is Montel Jackson kind of had a shot against a slightly washed up former credential champion in Brazil to stake a claim for herself as one of the next up and coming bantamweights. And credit to Davison, because Davison won the fight via split decision, but it was a little bit on a platter for Montel, who I like, and he couldn't quite take advantage of the situation.
Now, if you're done, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Please, in 1.5 hours or less, explain the avenues the Elks can make the playoffs.
So it's funny you bring this up, because about an hour ago, Derek Taylor tweeted. So this is what I thought was going to happen, or the easiest path to happen. If Edmonton wins out, Winnipeg loses out, Edmonton will get in. And they could actually still finish third in that scenario, would finish third in that scenario, because they would have the tiebreaker over Calgary, them winning out, at Winnipeg losing out. Now, if Edmonton, Calgary, and Winnipeg all finish 9-9, what it does then is it goes to head-to-head winning percentage of the teams with the tied record. So Calgary would have that, because they banked 3 wins against Winnipeg. And then I thought the 2 remaining teams in that situation, Winnipeg and Edmonton, it went straight to the tiebreaker between the 2 of those based on same record, which Winnipeg has. But Derek Taylor said there is a remote possibility of a 4-way tie at 9-9 in the West, which would be, obviously BC, Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg, in which the Bombers would finish 5th. And in this situation, they still would have that tie break against Edmonton. So that makes me think in that scenario, it doesn't actually go winning percentage for the team that finishes first, and then tiebreaker, which is point differential between the other 2 teams tied. It actually might for the 3, and it might be different for the 4, but the way this 4-way tie is working out, it looks like, win percentage against each other. And even
crazy.
And so I guess in that situation, it would go either Calgary or BC. I'm not sure. BC, I think, then Calgary, then Edmonton, if Edmonton's to win out.
If you were like, what are the odds in a 9-team league of having a 4-team tie for a playoff spot?
What are the odds?
Yeah.
They got to be pretty low. Right? I mean,
it's a 9-team league.
Yeah.
Like,
did that help it or hurt it?
I don't know. That's a great question.
I feel like it helps it.
Probably because it's shorter, but like the logic of it is like, usually this would have been sorted out by now. They play 18 games.
Yeah, the math is fun. Listen, I don't think there's going to be a 4-way tie for 9-9. I think Calgary is going to beat Toronto this weekend. And
that'll be that.
Well, for Calgary, they'll have their spot locked up. And then it will come down to Edmonton winning out and Winnipeg losing out. And I think that's more than likely what we're going to get. Now,
you think Edmonton's going to make the playoffs?
No, I don't. And I'll tell you why. Winnipeg is playing Saskatchewan at home this week, and Trevor Harris isn't starting for Saskatchewan. Jake Mayer's getting all the first-team reps. Saskatchewan's got first in the West.
Well, they're 12-4. Did you see them on the weekend?
Yeah, they've got first locked up.
How many great Canadian receivers do they have?
Nowadays, yeah, not as many as when they had the great Royal Canadian Air Force, but they still have a good stable, I should say.
Yeah, I think they've got two really, really good ones.
They're the Rider. They're a good team, man. Like they've dropped off in the past couple weeks a little bit, but they
didn't O'Day and the coach get
Jeremy O'Day and Corey Mace did just both sign extensions through 2028.
They've done well. I mean,
I like Corey Mace a lot as a coach.
Yeah.
I'm happy to see him there.
O'Day was the first GM in Saskatchewan history, I think, who opted not to draft an offensive lineman in the first round, took a wideout instead.
He didn't want someone to surpass his legacy there.
Yeah, that's
probably what it was.
It was a center, right?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
I think he played a little guard as well. He was great, man.
Did I ever tell
him
you?
And Gene Mikowski
for like
they were
5
awesome.
minutes of my life, I hung with Roger Aldag. Not a humble brag, just a little bit. He would never recognize me, but he's from Gull Lake, so it made me cool with the folks in Gull Lake.
I like that.
There you go. All right. Thanks so much for tuning into the Lowdown. We got a big game tonight. Jason Krueger will preview that. He's got some trivia. Only Edmonton Oilers player to ever score 3 goals in his first game. Krueger will have it for you coming up at 2 o'clock. Thanks so much for tuning into the Lowdown. Please enjoy your day.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Brought to you by Loca Quality Market. Your fridge just got an upgrade. Over 200 chef-prepared gourmet meals waiting at Loca Quality Market. Shop local at loca.ca. Oilers look to take another win tonight as they head to Madison Square Garden to take on the Rangers with puck drop at 5 p.m. Some more NHL action tonight sees Toronto hosting Nashville. The Kraken head to Montreal to take on the Canadiens. Flames and Golden Knights facing off in Calgary. Tampa Bay looks to get a win against the Capitals in Washington. The Wild look to give the Stars their first loss of the season in Dallas. Some injury news coming out of Ottawa as Brady Tkachuk is expected to miss 4 weeks with a hand injury he sustained in their game against Nashville. National League Championship Series continuing tonight as the Dodgers look to take a 2-0 lead over the Brewers, with Freddie Peralta taking the mound for the Brewers. First pitch at 6. Lots of NBA preseason games tonight as the Thunder take on the Bucks. The Pelicans host the Houston Rockets. The Bulls take the court against the Nuggets. The Lakers and Suns going head-to-head, and wrapping things up, the Warriors take on the Trailblazers. Coming up at the top of the hour, it's the Jason Krueger Show here on Sports 1440, and this has been your Sports 1440 update with Sam Wellness.
Sports 1440.